on Newswatch 12, gun deer season officially began today. We talked to some people that are on the hunt for a successful weekend in the woods. Plus, tons of businesses came to Marshfield today for one word: hemp. A special event highlighted all the products and perks the plant provides. And President Trump took time to see for himself all the damage in California. We have more on that visit coming up.
Your local news and weather from where you live. Newswatch 12 Weekend starts now.
Good evening. People took some time before the holidays to celebrate a holiday of their own in Wisconsin, gun deer season. Hunting season opening day chalks up to bagging bucks for some and a day of rest for others. After a day out in the woods, we caught up with some hunters to see how their day panned out.
After a long day out in the woods, Nick Lyons and his family stopped into Lizzie T's Tamarack Tap, just a few miles north of Rhinelander.
Pretty much tradition. We always stop here after.
Although it's tradition, Lyons is cheersing to something special after 12 years of hunting.
It's actually my first deer, first buck that I've ever shot, so it's well worth it for the 12 years. Today, this one was shot at 10:15.
Lyons isn't too sure why it took him so long to put some meat in the freezer, but he has a slight hunch that it might be due to not having the right permit.
I don't know if it's the deer population that's up here, the lack of dole permits that you get. Not everybody in our group has a dole permit.
I don't have a place to hunt. I can hunt in state land, but I don't come up here that often anymore.
Jim Brock hasn't had much luck in northern Wisconsin, but his brother normally does. They meet at Lizzie T's to celebrate as the first day comes to a close every year.
It's a camaraderie, tradition type thing, and just to get together.
Whether people hunt it or not, it seems Lizzie T's connects them as the sun sets on this big day.
Yep, grab a few drinks, head back to the cottage and eat dinner.
In Lake Tomahawk, Adriana Michelle, Newswatch 12.
Gun deer season lasts another 8 days. People can travel throughout the Northwoods for this week of hunting with friends and family. And Devin, I was down near Wausau today, and it seems like a pretty ideal weather so far for these hunters. You know, a lot of the snow melted down there, and the winds weren't too bad either today. Will they have good luck for the rest of the week?
Yeah, they should. It won't be too bad here in Rhinelander. Have the codes handy. You will need them. Angela?
A man escaped from a drug abuse correctional center earlier this afternoon in Oshkosh. 26-year-old Romance Tony disappeared from the correctional center around 2 p.m. He had past convictions for armed robbery, burglary, and escape. Tony is black with dreadlocks, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and about 145 pounds. He was last seen wearing gray sweatpants, a sweatshirt, and black shoes. If you have any information on where Tony might be, call the number you see on your screen. That's 920-236-5700. A man whose robbery attempt led to a bystander dying from a heart attack will spend 25 years in prison. Nicholas Ivy was sentenced in Dane County Court yesterday. Ivy and Xavier Fleming robbed a Culver's in Madison in 2017. 56-year-old Chris Knoibule was in the restaurant and had heart issues during the robbery. The two robbers didn't let anyone call for help when Knoibule showed signs of trouble. The medical examiner says he could have survived if they had called for help right away. Fleming's sentence is next month. 2 people in eastern Wisconsin face charges for the death of a 3-year-old. Police say Eduardo Gomez and Jamie Schrank were using meth when watching the child and their own 5-year-old in Manitowoc. The 3-year-old died from blunt force injuries to the stomach. Gomez and Schrank already face other charges for the child neglect and using meth. This new charge could bring a life sentence. Almost 50 years passed before farmers across the state could grow one of their favorite plants. But recently, the hemp plant was legalized for farmers to grow and make into things like CBD oil or even a snack. Today, people gathered in Marshfield to learn a little more about hemp. I was there earlier and talked to one woman whose life was completely changed because of it. Terry Kepke never thought she'd be here today.
2018 was definitely my year.
After being diagnosed with cancer in 2016.
In December, I was told that I wouldn't be alive in February, so I'm here and doing phenomenal.
But it all changed because of one thing: hemp. Kepke used it to reduce cancer cells in her bloodstream.
I would absolutely say it has saved my life, 100%.
This is known as hemp. And this is also hemp. And this is also hemp. It comes in all shapes and sizes, and today businesses are here to tell people what kind of stuff they can buy.
We got right on the front of this because it is a situation that can help so many.
James Nauman helped put on the event. He says it's to educate the public on what hemp can do for people like Kepke.
And we don't want people to have that stigma and be worried that they're going to be busted by the law or not be able to pass a drug test. And we want people to be able to feel better, of course.
As well as bust common myths like hemp making a person high.
I could ingest this entire container and I would never get high from it.
The most important thing to both of them is reconnecting people with this plant after 50 years.
For me, the absolute best of this is when I turn around and I look at people's booths and there are people doing business with business here in the state of Wisconsin.
Being able to share these products with people that is changing their lives as it has my own, I don't think there's a better thing I could offer in the world than being able to help.
The next hemp expo will be in March in Milwaukee. Nauman says he plans on hosting more throughout the state to keep educating people on the benefits of the plant. And while people spent the day hunting and shopping, kids enjoyed some fun on the ice. The Northern Edge figure skaters hosted a Parents' Day off at the Rhinelander Ice Arena. This was a way for the team to give parents a day to shop and hunt.
Parents can get out and they don't have to worry about the kids whining or anything, and they can do all their stuff that they need.
Kids were busy ice skating, playing Christmas games, and eating a lunch. The Northern Edge High School girls made sure all the games were fun and exciting.
I really liked helping out with the games and doing like Limbo and the Naughty Little Elves game because that was really fun.
The skating team asked for a $20 entrance fee. The money raised goes towards upcoming Northern Edge's skating competitions. And coming up, we'll have your full weather forecast with our meteorologist, Devin Biggs. And the wildfires in California nearly destroyed 12,000 buildings. President Trump decided it was time to get out there and see the damage himself. We'll have that story after the break. So Devin, we've talked about the weather for gun deer season, but now I want to know for Thanksgiving, when people are stuffing their stomachs, will the weather still be good for that?
In fact, it should be, and we have a warm up on the way, maybe a question mark in the 40s. We'll have to see as we head down there, but
good.
Will feel like a little bit of a heat wave. But take a look outside right now. Oh my goodness, Angela.
All right, thank you, Devin. And moving over to the West Coast, President Trump decided to see the damage from California's wildfires for himself. The number of dead statewide is now at 74, and more than 1,000 people are unaccounted for. NBC's Chris Pallone has the latest.
President Donald Trump in Northern California surveying the destruction of the Camp Fire, total devastation in a town called Paradise.
This is very sad to see it. As far as the lives are concerned, nobody knows quite yet. They're up to a certain number, but we have a lot of people that aren't accounted for.
State officials say this is the most destructive fire here ever. Nearly 12,000 structures destroyed, more than 1,000 people unaccounted for. And search teams continue to find people who didn't make it.
I again have the very unfortunate duty to report to you that an additional 8 human remains were recovered during our search efforts today. That brings the total number of human remains located and collected at this point to 71.
Those who did survive are packed into shelter, some even living in tents, having to start over with nothing, but thrilled to be alive.
I thought I was going to die. I really did.
Despite the Camp Fire being 55% contained, heavy smoke is blanketing San Francisco more than 150 miles away. As he first did on Twitter, the president continued to blame forest management for the fire severity.
Got to take care of the floors, the floors of the forests, very important. You look at other countries where they do it differently, and it's a whole different story.
The president was scheduled to view damage from the Woolsey Fire outside Los Angeles in Southern California before returning to Washington. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
And moving over to a bit of a lighter note, coming up next, Newswatch 12's Maisie Vincent joins us with some sports.
Good evening, Angela. The DNR will be busy the next few weeks with the start to the gun deer season, and the Badgers just barely squeezed out a win in triple overtime against the Boilermakers, all thanks to a certain fellow I bet you can name who. Stick with us.
Thanks for sticking with us. This spring, college students at Lock Haven University will be able to bring their four-legged friend to campus. The college is hoping it will entice more students to live on campus. Christina Papa has more.
One visit with Leah, the dachshund mix here at Lock Haven University. And graduate student Michelle Roush is missing her family's dog, Jax.
The worst part of leaving home for me is leaving her behind because she gets so sad every time I leave. So bringing her with me would make me feel a lot better being up here, and it would make me feel more at home.
Students should expect to see a few more four-legged friends like Leah on Lock Haven University's campus next semester. The university recently announced North Hall will become the school's first pet-friendly residence hall. It's the first of its kind in the Pennsylvania state system.
I would love it. I would absolutely have the best time.
I think that it's great for our students. It's a way to attract maybe some students that are on the fence, and also just for students to be able to be like, hey, yeah, this is a cool experience.
Dogs like Leah won't be the only new four-legged residents here. The school is also allowing cats and some small caged animals.
College kids love two things, animals and free food, so we got one of those.
With one animal per room and strict guidelines to follow, Morgan Petrensic plans to adopt a gerbil.
I think I'll be less stressed. I'll be taking 18 credits next semester, but if I can find someone to be like, hey, can I play with your dog for like 10 minutes? It'll be better.
I feel like it would be a very big stress reliever. Finishing an exam and just being able to kind of cuddle with my dog and feel a little bit of extra love, it would definitely be a good bonus.
Most of them associate home with pets, and so now they have an ability to have the comfort of having their pets with them here at school.
Welcome back. So the great thing about this week, guys, is it's Thanksgiving week, which means food.
Ooh, yeah.
And I'm very, very excited. And I also want to know what your favorite Thanksgiving food is.
Okay, I love dressing. It's something I look forward to and I won't eat it only in Thanksgiving week. That's it.
What about you, Devin?
Green bean casserole.
That's great. That's also great.
What about you, Angela?
You know, I really like pecan pie. It's great. Some people say pecan pie, but I love it. And you know, the great thing about Thanksgiving too is like playing football outside if the weather's okay.
Actually, should be okay. It'll be a weird day, but it should be okay. But right now outside, it is cold outside. Stevens Point is all nice and quiet at this time. And Radar Satellite also nice and quiet. And basically Thanksgiving, look, it's going to be 35 on basically with mostly cloudy skies, so it won't be too bad. In your Northwest Furniture 7-day forecast, it's going to be warming up closer to the end of the week, starting right on Thanksgiving. So if you like warm weather, we have a little bit of a mini heat wave to talk about.
I love warm weather. That sounds great.
I'm excited.
Well, that's it for your news around the Northwoods. Have a great night.
Saturday Night Live is up.
Wait, what? Everyone's excited about the Chevy vehicles at the Chevy Black Friday sales event.